Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer. Today we're taking a look at the Kuat Piston Pro X on the back of our 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe. Now the piston is going to be a platform style bike rack and a very premium one at that. This one's going to have a lot of really nice features for ease of use and just make it really fun to use. It holds the bike by the tires using these arms that open up with the integrated pistons. That's really what sets this rack apart. At the push of a button, these arms will open themselves up, making it really easy to set up your bike. And you've got height adjustability for the hoops, so you can do it tool-free on the fly. If you've got maybe some friends that you're biking with and they've got different size tires, you can get it adjusted really quickly and ratchet those arms down. Because it holds the bike by the tires, we're not making any frame contact, so for our carbon frame bike like you see here, it's going to be just fine. Same story for any alternative frames too. With this, you do have a 67-pound capacity per bike, so you've got the e-bike compatibility too. Like many other platform racks, you do have the ability to tilt away using this pedal by the first tray. You can release it and lower it down. And although it is close on the Tahoe, we do have clearance with this particular setup to open up the back hatch. I will say if you've got some wider pedals or wider handlebars, you might run into a situation where you don't have clearance. So just keep that in mind that it will vary depending on your bike. If you're looking for something that will give more clearance, maybe check out the Rocky Mounts guide rail. It holds the bikes in a very similar way with the dual wheel mount design, but it's going to just have a few less features than the piston and give you a lot more clearance with that tilt. Lifting it back up, it'll lock back in, and we can get the bike unloaded. Again, just holding onto the bike, pressing those buttons for the pistons, and then lifting it up and away. Now the arms don't open up as wide as I would maybe like them to, but you can just push them open yourself if you need to get a little bit of extra room. It's just something to keep in mind when you are using that. If you've got a mountain bike with a longer wheelbase, you might have to kind of weave it in a little bit, but it still is a lot easier than trying to fish it around a center mast. Closing these up, we can get some measurements, starting with our ground clearance. You do have a good rise in the shank, giving us 30.5 inches of ground clearance at the back end. More than enough, I think, for any sort of situation you might find yourself in. I don't think you have to worry about bottoming out with this. The distance added to the back comes in at 26 inches, which is actually really reasonable for the capacity of two bikes. We can save some of that space though by folding it up, using that same pedal that we used before, and taking that measurement one more time from the same point. It only sticks out 12 inches now, so that's a lot more manageable for parking spaces or maybe even your driveway or garage, depending on the room you have. Now with it like this, it mostly leaves your license plate visible. It does obstruct it a little bit, and you do still have some visibility over the top for your backup camera, but it will probably block a big portion of it. You do have integrated lights built in. Just plug it in with your 4-pole wiring that comes with the bike rack and is already on your vehicle to give you taillight functions such as your brake lights, turn signals, and running lights. And then it does have an anti-rattle device that does use a tool, but the tool stores in the bike rack. That's going to be right at the end right here to secure it, making it nice and solid in the hitch, and it stores up here and locks in place when it's not in use. At the hitch, it's working with our 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube, and the hitch pin that it comes with is locking. Key to like to that lock up top, as well as the lock on top of the tray that we use for our cable lock. And overall, if you're looking for something that has a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of really fun to use parts, and ease of use, the piston's a great way to go. I think it's an especially good fit on the Tahoe with that integrated lighting, just because you already have that 4-pole wiring from the factory. If you need something with a little more clearance though, check out the Rocky Mounts guide rail like I mentioned before. But otherwise, that'll do it for our look at the Kuat Piston Pro X. Thanks for watching.